Hey mathematicians and gear up, as today we're going to practice analyzing and classifying triangles based on their side length, angle measures, or both of those things. Let's get into it with our I will statements for today.
Remember, your I will statements are your goals for this lesson. They are what we are trying to work on and learn more about throughout our time together today. As we continue on in our lesson, make sure you have your mind focused on these three things and showing them to your teacher. I will read the I will statement first, and then we will read it again a second time together. Make sure you're reading it nice and loudly so I can hear you, but no shouting necessary.
Hey mathematicians, pause that video now and read these I will statements together as a class. All right, mathematicians, for our warm-up problem, your teacher is going to do a kinesthetic moving activity with you, which means you're going to get out of your seats. But it's important that when you stand up, your mouths are closed. Your teacher is going to give you specific things to do, and they'll even tell you when to stand up. So don't worry about standing up just yet. They'll guide you on different directions, either to look or to point, and your job is to point in those specific directions. If your teacher asks you to model a specific angle with your arms, they'll demonstrate how to do it, and then you'll follow along in doing it as well. If time allows, play a little game of Simon Says, and then come back and I'll explain what you're doing for today's lesson. All right, mathematicians, for today's activity, we are going to practice talking more about triangles. So you'll need your triangle template from your teacher, your practice sheet, a ruler, only one per group, and a protractor. When we talk about different types of triangles, there are different things that we can think about when it comes to a triangle. A triangle, if we wanted to define it, has three sides, it has 3 points, and even 3 angles to look at. All of these 3 segments on a triangle help us form or determine what kind of triangle it is. But not all triangles are the same, which means there's different categories of triangles that we are going to talk about today. You guys are going to separate into small groups, and each of your groups is going to be provided each of the triangles from templates 1, 2, and 3. Your teacher will hand those out. Don't worry about that. You're going to be given the triangle cutouts, and with your rulers and protractors, you're going to have to measure the attributes of that triangle and write it down. Then we're going to go through and we'll talk about what those triangles are actually called based on their attributes, which is their side lengths and their angles. Right now, grab a piece of paper and a pencil. You can use your math notebook for this, and we're going to create our template for how we'll record our notes for this. Now that we have a blank piece of paper in front of us, we are going to split it up into different categories. Our first category is going to be called triangles. I'm going to write that a little bit bigger so we can read it. There we go. Triangle. And in that category, we'll write the triangle letter on it. So if it's triangle A or triangle 1, we'll write that down just so we don't mix up our triangles and we don't measure triangles more than once. In our second column, we're going to write length. To find the length of our triangle sides, we're going to use our ruler. Now remember, a triangle has 3 different sides, so you'll have 3 different measurements for each of your triangle lengths. Our last one is going to be the angles in your triangle. And for this one, you'll use your protractor. You use your protractor to measure. And just like length, there are 3 angles in your triangle, so you're going to have 3 angles listed in each of these. You're going to go through and work on this as a group. Give each one of your group members a job. There'll be a measurer for the length, a measurer for the protractors, or maybe they can be your recorder, who is the group member who writes down all the notes and shares it with the rest of the group at the end. After you have collected the information on the triangles your teacher gives you, you'll talk as a class on the specific names of those triangles. You'll make some anchor charts to hang around the room, and you'll start calling the triangles by their actual names instead of just triangles. Good luck in your exploration today, mathematicians, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.